Is Bitcoin actually valuable? Is $100,000 and higher for the price of Bitcoin actually possible? In this video, I'm just going to simplify everything. Everyone's on the internet telling you why Bitcoin's so great or why it sucks. I'm just going to simplify it to the two biggest reasons that you can have confidence, that you might want to have confidence. I don't know, you choose. And knowing this is the key, guys. Knowing this equals long-term wealth. Plus, I mean, the long-term stuff sounds good, right? I want to be rich long-term. But I also want to have the kahunas right now to make good financial decisions short-term, right? So watch this video. I thought about making this video because what else is there to make videos about? I mean, Bitcoin has spent 342 days in this downtrend. 342 days. The past 123 days right here, we've been stuck between $19,000 and $24,000. It reminds me a lot of this time right here where we were stuck between 30 and 40K for 63 days and then we went back up. And honestly, it's kind of crazy because the entire time that we had that bull run last year, the last couple years, it was 334 days, and the downtrend so far has been 342 days. So we spent more time going down than we did going up. So everyone in the market right now is basically turning either quitting or they are trying to decide like maybe this crypto thing was a scam the whole time, and or they're just, I don't know, they're on vacation learning new hobbies. So I need one thing from you because I'm about to break this shit down. I'm about to break down why Bitcoin actually matters, like in a real way, okay? And why I have confidence in it long term. And it's not like a 50,000 things like, oh, it's like 5 million different things. It's actually a very simple argument, okay? And it's going to be amazing, but I need one thing from you before we get started. This is like your admission fee, okay? Your admission fee for watching the best video on the internet today is simple. Click the like button. Holy crap. We got 745 yesterday. We need to get 1,000 on every single video. Please help me out. I know it's so inconvenient to take your finger out of your butthole and put it on that like button, but please do it. I know. Please smash it for me. It really helps. And then share this with someone who it could help because I see a lot of people, even like really good traders on Twitter, have no idea the fundamentals of what they're investing in. They're just investing in Bitcoin for the ups and the downs, right? They want to buy here and sell here. And that's fine. That's cool. That's very interesting. Like, you know, you're making dollars. That's awesome. But I've noticed that a lot of people have gotten into this and they don't have a foundation. It's like going to church. I don't know how many of you guys are religious, but it's like going to church and singing all the songs, right? And you know the words, but you don't have faith for yourself. You don't actually believe anything. You're just singing the words, right? And I'm not trying to say that Bitcoin is a religion because I actually think the opposite. I think that people make it too much of a religion. It's not a religion. It's a freaking tech company. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But you need to have the base knowledge to know what the hell you're investing in. Otherwise, how can you have confidence in times like this? How can you have confidence when we've spent 123 days between the price of $19,000 and $24,000? Everyone's like, Kale, why aren't you panicking? Why aren't you freaking out? Why do you think, you know, the future is bright? Well, I'm gonna lay it out right here. Sound good? All right, have you smashed the like button yet? All right, let's freaking do this. Okay, so first and foremost, I used to be a Bitcoin maximalist. A quick little background. I know a lot of you guys know me because I was all into altcoins. You know, like during this period here, during this, you know, this giant run here, I was all about altcoins. And the reason for that, 143 days, because altcoins are making more money. Duh, we all like to make more money. So I'm the furthest thing from a maximalist as far as like, I want to make money too, guys. I understand you want to make money short term. We all want to make money. That's kind of the reason we're here. However, I started my journey as a maximalist back in 2020. Okay, so I wrote this thread about why I invest in Bitcoin and nothing else on 27th of November, 2020. Okay, and I go through this whole thread. You can go and read it on my Twitter if you want, but I talk about all the reasons why I invested in Bitcoin back then. And now I've consolidated all of these reasons. It's like a 30 tweet thread, and this is what everyone does. This is why Bitcoin's so great. Ugh. And now this kind of stuff makes me sick because it's just like, shut up, man. It's not a religion, it's a coin. The coin sucks. It goes down for 342 days in a row. Like, shut the hell up. Like, when is it going to go back up? Like, that's how I feel too. Smash the like button if you feel like that, right? F that. However, as I've learned and as I've grown and as I've, you know, been in this space longer, I have kind of consolidated my thoughts into a simple argument as to why I feel most confident with Bitcoin when I go to sleep at night. And it is very simple. Let's start with the first one. Apple. You're probably like, what the fuck? What does Apple and the iPhone have to do with anything? It is these two things, the iPhone and the next, I'll reveal it later, a little more secret. The first thing is that Bitcoin is similar to Apple. Okay, if you would have bought Apple in 2000 and this was an iPhone 10 years ago. Look at this thing. Look how old that looks. 10 years ago. Let's go back a little bit to the first iPhone. The first iPhone came out in 2007. That's only 15 years ago when you think about that. That's pretty crazy. I mean, I was still like, in high school, I guess, but I mean, that's not that long ago, right? This is very recent history as far as history goes, right? That the iPhone came out. So since 2007 is really the first year that we've had the internet in our pockets. And I think people underestimate how big of a game changer it is. Think about your life now when you have this supercomputer in your pocket, right? And it looks a lot better than these ones, right? And you can access any information at any time. Think about how different your life is now in 2022 versus people that were just starting to use these. Think about your life. Every single aspect of it is different. And I think people underestimate that. And when this first really stuck with me is the book recommendation I have for you guys is this one right here. Is Bitcoin, Hard Money You Can't Fuck With. Oh, that's actually not the right one. This one. Sorry, it's all in Spanish. The Price of Tomorrow, Why Deflation is the Key to an Abundant Future. So I read this book in 2020. This actually came out in January 14, 2020. If you've ever seen a book that has predicted the future more than this book, I would be shocked. Okay, you go read this book. You need to effing read this book. Okay, it's unbelievable. It's scary. Once you see it, it's hard to unsee. But the thing that I got the most out of it. Okay, let me pick a piece of paper that doesn't have all of my social security number on it. Good Lord, all these pieces of paper do. Okay, this piece of paper right now. Okay, if you folded this, I don't know, a few times, it's not that thick, right? It's not that thick. This is the analogy from the book. This is what will blow your mind, okay? If you fold this a few times, it's not that thick. I folded it like 4 times, right? How thick is this? I don't know. A few inches thick. The question is, if I were to fold this 50 times onto itself, okay? If I was able to. I'm not able to, obviously, because it's too thick. If I was able to fold this 50 times, how thick would this piece of paper be? Answer the question for yourself real quick. How thick would it be? The answer is, it would stretch from where I'm sitting right now, my desk right here, to the sun, to the surface of the sun, 83 million miles away. And you're like, Kale, what does that have to do with anything? I don't understand. I don't get it. That is exponential technology. That represents technology and the exponential nature of technology. It's exactly like the iPhone, okay? So when you first got the iPhone in 2007, it probably could do a few things, send a few texts, slowly get on the internet. It had the processing power of, it had 4 gigabyte. It had 4 gigabytes of memory. Fast forward to now to 2022, and your iPhone is exponentially more capable. It's the fastest supercomputer. It's a supercomputer. It's unbelievable. I mean, you could literally power the space station with this thing, right? There is more computing power in your iPhone. Where's my iPhone? There's more computing power in this beautiful device than was in the space station 10 years ago. Okay, and that's what exponential technology is, and that's what the book is talking about. And you're like, I don't care. What does this matter? Okay, Bitcoin was invented in 2009. The iPhone came out in 2007. They came out at very, very similar times. The market cap of Bitcoin currently is $370 billion. The market cap of Apple currently is $2.31 billion. Okay. $2.31 trillion. Sorry, this is in Spanish. You guys know I make Spanish videos as well. I forgot to talk about that. Go watch a Spanish show. I also have a TikTok for shorter stuff. So that was just a segue. Sorry. But anyway, $2.3 trillion for Apple and $370 billion for Bitcoin right now. So Apple is like what? 10 times bigger than Bitcoin at this day and age, right? But there's this interesting guy right here named Michael Saylor, who was one of the first people to invest in Apple back in 2007. And he was the one who was talking about this phenomenon that I'm talking about here. He was talking about exponential technology. He was talking about the App Store back in 2007. He was talking about how it's not just going to be one thing that your phone does. Like your phone is like just for the internet. It's going to be every single thing in your life will be an app on this phone. And guess what? He was right. And he invested in Apple and he's a genius. And now he only invests in Bitcoin. And you got to ask yourself, when someone calls stuff so properly, he called Apple, he called web domains, he called all these things. And now he's saying, I'm only going to buy Bitcoin. This dude is intelligent. He gets a bad rap, but go listen to him speak. He's a genius. He's a straight up genius. And I've listened to him talk a million times, and he gets a bad rap. He gets compared with people like Bill Kwan and people like these 3AC founders who went bankrupt. He gets compared with Elon, who doesn't have enough time. Elon's a genius as well, but he doesn't have enough time to focus on Bitcoin. Michael Saylor is focused, okay? He's focused. And what he sees is more than I see, obviously, because he's smarter than me. But he sees this exponential folding of technology where every year your processor and your computer gets twice as fast and it gets cheaper at the same time. It's the same thing that he talks about in this book, okay? And so the first thing, if anyone asks you, why is Bitcoin important? It is technology. It is a technology company. Stop thinking of it as a fucking crypto. Stop thinking of it as any of that. It's exponential. It's more users on the platform, more people using it, it expands exponentially throughout society. It's like a leech. It's like a hydra. It's like as time goes on, it spreads its little frickin' technological legs and it gets into every single aspect of society. Here's a chart that makes it very, very simple, okay? Internet users. Internet users went like this from 2000, and it's going up to the world population. It's going to be every single person on the internet is going to be using the internet. You can't even see. Can you see it now? This is Bitcoin down here. This is Bitcoin down here. Bitcoin today, 13.8 years from inception, Bitcoin has 300 million users, 4% of the world, okay? It took Bitcoin 6 months to get 1,000 users, 5 years to find its first million users. Today, 13.8 years from inception, has 300 million users. It seems like this might be exponential, okay? At the current growth rates, 1 billion users will hit them in the next 3 years. That's 12% of the world. And then after that, it will be the whole world that will know about Bitcoin. It's called exponential technology. You start off, it takes 6 months to get to 1,000 users. Just like I showed you with the paper. You think this thing could never get that thick. It could never get thick. It's impossible to get thick. And then a few folds later, 13 years later, you have 300 million users. Like, holy shit. And then a few more folds, you're like, oh, 1 billion. And then a couple more years, and everyone's using it. It's an exponential technology adoption play. Just like Facebook, just like everything else. I even said this in my thread back here. It's somewhere in here. It has 4-sided network effects. It's a network effect business. Where the hell is it? I said this like years ago in my thread. I don't know where I said it about network effects. Should have had it ready. Sorry, guys. But anyway, there are 4. It's in here somewhere. Fuddruck. Yeah! 4-sided network effects. Anyway, the 4-sided network effects off the top of my head are miners, people that buy it. There's 4 sides to it. I don't even know. I wrote it down here somewhere. Damn it. Anyway, it's a network effect business like Apple, like Facebook, like Google, like any of these businesses. The more users that come on, the more valuable it is for everybody else, right? So that's number one. When people ask you why is Bitcoin valuable, because it's similar to Apple. It's similar to something that people didn't really know when the iPhone came out in 2007 that every single person was going to hold an iPhone, right? They didn't. They had no idea. They thought this was a fad. And now it's exponential. Every single part of your life is affected by this. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. It's an exponential technology company. The next thing is we got to talk about the debt. We got to talk about what is the use of Bitcoin, because the reason that Apple has a bigger market cap right now than Bitcoin is because it's a tech company that is more useful than Bitcoin. Okay, this is way more useful than Bitcoin. This thing can do a million different things. It's a fucking computer. It's incredible, right? But what is the actual use case for Bitcoin? The use case for Bitcoin is digital gold. Okay, so you should write these 2 things down as the summary of this video. What are the 2 reasons to own Bitcoin? Number 1, it's a technology play just like Apple. Would you like to have bought Apple in 2007? Okay, buy Bitcoin. And the next one is digital gold. What is the purpose of gold? This is the big one. This is really the reason I sleep well at night, okay? If you look at this chart, this is a monthly chart of gold going back to 1971. We have in 1971, you see how the price of gold, let me get rid of this. You see how the price of gold was flat? This is gold. You can't even see it down here. You can't even see it. The price of gold was just flat against the dollar all the way up until 1971. And you're probably wondering what the hell happened in 1971. Well, in 1971, go to what WTF happened in 1971.com. We went off the gold standard, okay? The dollar was no longer redeemable for a bar of gold. You guys probably know this shit, okay? I'm not going to like sit here and recite maximalist things. But like literally, 1971, it looks like something changed. It looks like we went off the gold standard. And if you plot this on a long enough time frame, gold is literally parabolic. literally parabolic. And why is that? Because of money printing. Money printing. They decided to be able to print money freely, and the price of gold went up. And the crazy part about this, if you go watch this video, if you haven't watched this video yet, you shouldn't be investing in crypto. Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order by Ray Dalio. He talks about every single, it's not like this is new, guys. Every single time in history, the same shit happens, okay? You get a new world order, you get a new world power, okay? This has happened before, multiple times, and he talks about it in this video. It's amazing. If you haven't watched this video, you're an idiot, okay? New world order, peace, prosperity, and productivity sounds like the United States the past 100 years, right? Peace, past 50 years. Peace, prosperity, and productivity. Financial bubble and big wealth gap. Did we have a financial bubble and a big wealth gap the past couple years? I don't know. Maybe like, Elon Musk is like an effing trillionaire. Bezos is a trillionaire. We had this giant bubble where people were buying freaking pictures of apes for $1 million. I think we had the bubble last year, okay? Financial bust, economic downturn. Sounds similar to this year, doesn't it? Sounds similar to this 342 days of economic downturn. Maybe it's going to be worse. I don't know. It sounds pretty prophetic. And then guess what happens next on the cycle? And this is not just like, oh, it might happen. It might happen. I don't know. It will happen. It's happened throughout all of human history. It's the same exact shit. Printing money and credit. They have to print the money. If you go do the math, okay, we can't even afford to pay our interest on our debts. We can't even afford to pay the interest on our debts unless we print money. So we have to print the money, and this is worldwide. This is the U.S. debt. This is the worldwide debt, $300 trillion. $300 trillion. Bitcoin was literally created for this reason. If you go here, this was written into the code of Bitcoin. It's the very first code in Bitcoin. Chancellor on the brink of the second bailout for banks. What this is the Chancellor of Europe, of wherever, of the UK, saying we're going to bail out the banks and print money. And guess what? Satoshi inscribed it onto the first block. He literally put it onto the block, first block of Bitcoin, because the reason for the existence of Bitcoin is to be a digital version of gold. To protect Bitcoin, gold over the course of the last 50 years has gone up exponentially. Why? Because they printed money, and a hard asset that you can't print more of, that you can't make more, as 21 million units. I'm talking about Bitcoin, but you can't make more gold, right? You just dig it out of the ground. It's very hard. It's very scarce. It's just like a Lamborghini. It's scarce. And so the price goes up when the units go up. If you print money, it's just like in Monopoly, okay? Let's say you're playing Monopoly and you want to buy Boardwalk, but all of a sudden a new banker comes along with double the amount of money. Will the price of Boardwalk go up? Yes, because there's only one Boardwalk. Okay? It's very, very simple. So they printed a ton of money and scarce assets go up. And literally Bitcoin was invented to be, it says right here in the invention of it, it was invented to be a hedge against these crazy, crazy money printers. And we know from history that they're going to print more money. They are going to. They have to. They don't have a choice. I already proved this to you, okay? So you have the network effects. You have Apple. You have the Apple effect. That is what Bitcoin is in essence, is a technology company, an exponential a network effect tech company, plus the digital gold. You have digital gold. And everyone's like, yeah, it's not a digital gold. And then it just goes down. It just goes down. It's not an inflation hedge. It's been proven wrong. It's been proven unsuccessful. You guys, it's not, I hate to break it to you. It's not that difficult to fix this problem. Okay, everyone's like, Bitcoin doesn't have a narrative. Bitcoin's doomed. It's doomed. Guys, I'm just going to show you something. This is our culture though. And the reason our culture is unable to understand things like this is because we are so short-term focused. We do not have the ability to think long-term. Okay? We do not. And that is why that analogy at the beginning works, right? Because some exponential things, our brain, this is an exponential equation. Folding this to reach the effing sun is an exponential thing, okay? Our brains are not good. Human brains are not wired to understand exponential functions, okay? So you sit here today and you think, Bitcoin's $19,000. It has failed. It's a failure. It's never going to go to $100,000. Okay, all I have to do to disprove this, I don't have to give you 50 arguments. I don't have to tell you digital gold, fucking Apple, all this shit you'll see on the internet. It's so stupid. It all comes down to one very simple concept. All you have to do is zoom out. Zoom out. Look at this chart. Look at this chart. This is a chart of Bitcoin, okay? Since it was created, does this look like an exponential function to you? Look, the first few years, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It looks like that gold chart, doesn't it? Looks very similar to that gold chart, right? Nothing, 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 nothing. And then all of a sudden, exponential. That is what, I mean, yes, we've had a crazy bubble here. Sure, cool, interesting. But when this, over time, right, over a long time, I'm talking like 10 years, 20 years, when people have more trust in Bitcoin, it's an exponential function. It's just going to do this, okay? This is just what Apple's going to, this is what technology does. It's going to bounce like this. It's going to look like this. And guess what this price is? $300,000. That is what the chart of Bitcoin will look like. You won't even be able to see this back here. Just exactly like I just showed you with gold. And so basically, the summary of the whole situation is read these books. Read, if you want to know the basic fundamentals of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Hard Money You Can't Fuck With by Jason Williams. It's awesome. Go read it. And The Price of Tomorrow, Why Deflation is Key to an Abundant Future by Jeff Booth. Go read these effing books. And then just think for a split second. Oh, and watch this video by Ray Dalio. You're welcome. If you do that, if you read these 2 books and you watch this video by Ray Dalio, you'll be smarter than 99% of people in the world. And you'll be able to sit here. You'll be able to sit here and watch the price of Bitcoin at $19,000 and literally laugh because you know the end of this story. You absolutely know the end of the story. It's all about trust. The only thing, it all comes down to trust. Why does everyone know that Apple is the best company in the world? Because everyone holds one of these. Everyone knows that's a great product. Everyone knows it's freaking incredible. And it's been around since 2007. And so we all think that this is never going anywhere. We think this company is bulletproof. Guess what? Same exact thing with Bitcoin. This generation has been raised on iPhones. This generation has been raised on the internet, people. And they need a gold just like every other generation has needed a gold. They need to print money to save themselves. Gold will go up, right? Same thing, except the only difference is you're probably thinking, why don't they just use gold? It's not like they can just buy gold. Gold is probably still there. Guys, these people who are on TikTok, go follow me on TikTok, but these kids dancing on TikTok, they do not want to hold physical gold, okay? This is an internet generation. They are way more accustomed to holding gold from a video game or credits or Bitcoin or crypto. These people understand this stuff natively. Just because you're old as shit and you can't understand that like everything is on the internet, everything, your bank balance, everything is floating in the metaverse, okay? It already is. Your whole life is. Just because you're old and don't understand this, the new generation understands this. And in 10, 20 years, you don't think Bitcoin is going to be $1 million? Are you out of your effing mind? It's going to be like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's always been here. Bitcoin's been around since I was born. Bitcoin's as solid as the rocks that I stand on. Bitcoin's actually more solid than the ground that I stand on because the metaverse is more real than my current real life. So, and Bitcoin operates perfectly inside of the internet. So, I don't know. It's an exponential technology company wrapped in a digital gold blanket, and it's only worth fucking $300 billion right now. The market cap of Bitcoin is $300 billion. The market cap of gold is what? $10 trillion. If you're telling me that we are not going to get over this market cap in our lifetime, you're out of your mind. That is absolutely nuts to me. So that's another 20, 30, 40x. It's going to happen. You can hold Bitcoin and be confident in the long-term trajectory of this bad boy, okay? That's why I sleep good at night. That's where I'm at. So share this video with one person if it helped you. I'm trying to make more educational videos. I'm trying to make political videos because there's nothing to talk about. We're just waiting for Bitcoin to fulfill its destiny, and it's taken a while, but that's okay. We're going to do it. All right, love you guys. See you later. Peace. Bye.